Okay, so React.js is basically a JavaScript related library, which is going to be using to build user interface UI components. And React is going to be involved in kind of full stack application development, full stack web application development. Okay, not only full stack web application development, which is going to be available to build the mobile application also, web and mobile. So whenever you want to develop a mobile application and web application both, then this React.js is going to be involved in the part of the front end. So first of all, we try to understand what is the meaning of full stack is. What is the meaning of full stack is? Full stack is combination of full stack is a combination of front end and back end technologies. Front end back end technologies. Front end back end technologies. Okay, so what is the meaning of front end? What is the meaning of back end? Let me tell you clearly. What is the meaning of front end is? What is the meaning of back end is? Okay. Front end is user interface. Front end is user interface called UI. Okay. So whenever you want to build a complete end-to-end web application, let me tell you a clear picture in the paint here. I'm just opening the paint here. So let me tell you about the full stack web application. Full stack web application. Okay, I just want to improve the font. So whenever you want to go with the full stack web application, imagine this is a browser from the desktop. Imagine this is a mobile. Okay, even it may be a Android OS or iOS. So these desktops, web application, even mobile apps, both are communicating with the server. And these servers are communicating with the databases. Okay. So imagine from the desktop, I go through a browser. Imagine I have a browser here. And here I am going to be installing a mobile app. There's a kind of a Facebook app or Instagram app or LinkedIn app, whatever it may be. So from the browser, I may go through www. Something like xyz.com. So this is my web application. This is my web application address, www.xyz.com. The same XYZ kind of app is available here. The same XYZ kind of app is available in the mobile. Okay. So both are communicating. For example, if I launch www.xyz.com in the domain of the hospitality, in the domain of banking system, in the domain of real estate, whatever it may be, if I'm going to be sending some request from this client system to server system, when I launch xyz.com from the client, it is sending a request to the server system. This is sending a request to the server system. Imagine this is the server system. This is the server side. And this server is always communicating with the databases. This server is always communicating with the databases. Okay, database, whatever the database it may be a SQL, it may be a MySQL, it may be a Postgre, it may be a Oracle, it may be a MongoDB, it may be a Firebase, multiple kind of databases which are going to be available. Even in server side also, you will be having different kind of technical skills. You will be having PHP, you will be having .NET, you will be having Java, you will be having Python, you will be having Node.js, and we will be having something like Ruby, whatever it may be. Server side, there are multiple technical skills. Database side also, there are multiple technical skills. But one thing we need to observe, in the client side, in the browser side, what are the different kind of technical skills we need to learn? What are the different kind of technical skills we need to learn in the browser side? In the browser side, the major important technical skills we need to learn is HTML, CSS, JS. JS means JavaScript. JS means JavaScript. On top of the JavaScript, there are some important modern JavaScript libraries which are going to be very, very famous. One is the React.js, one is the Angular, and one more is Vue.js. React.js, Angular, or Vue.js. These are the most important technical skills in the part of the front end we need to learn. Okay, specifically, you are going to be learning React.js. Actually, you are choosing a React.js in the part of the front end. Whenever you want to learn React.js, compulsory mandatory things you need to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript first. Without having the knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you cannot able to learn the React.js. Okay, so here this is actually called UI. This is actually called user interface, and this is front end. The total concept is called front end part, and this is the total concept is called back end part. Okay, imagine this is the back end part. Imagine this is the back end part. Front end and back end both are communicating with the mediator or middleware. What is the middleware here is? That is server side. backend is database. Front end is user interface. Both are communicating always. Both are mediating always using with the middleware. That middleware is server side. What the server side is? It may be a PHP sometime. It may be a .NET sometime. It may be Java sometime. It may be Python sometime. Or it may be a Node.js sometime. It may be a Ruby sometime. So better you are learning front end part React.js. When you are learning React.js in the part of the front end, my suggestion will be the better you can go with the Node.js here. The better you can go with the Node.js here. And the better you can go with the MongoDB in the part of the backend part. Then you can able to build end-to-end full stack application. It's a kind of Instagram, it's a kind of Twitter, it's a kind of YouTube, it's a kind of shopping cart application, whatever it may be. End-to-end full stack application you can able to build. Using by the same React.js, you can able to build the user interface for the mobile application also. A technical skill called, a library called React Native. React Native, that knowledge is, that name is called React Native. The name is called React Native. Just try to understand. Getting my point, Akhil? Getting my point, Akhil? How the full stack application will be and what are the different kind of technical skills you are learning in the part of the front end? What are the different kind of technical skills you are learning in the part of the back end? What are the different kind of technical skills you are going to be learning in the part of the middleware? Yes, exactly. So let me tell you in the notes I'm trying to write in here. In the front end, you are going to be learning HTML, CSS, then Java. Let me make it font size less. On top of the JavaScript, we are going to be learning a React.js. Okay, so there are modern libraries which are going to be available on top of the JavaScript. One is the React, one is the Angular, one is the Vue.js. Okay, backend is basically combination of middleware and database. Backend is basically combination of middleware and database. Okay, who is the middleware here? Who is the database here? Middleware, there are multiple middlewares are there. One is the Node.js, one is PHP, one is Java, one is .NET, one is Python Django, or Python Django, or Python Flask. Okay, you may go with any one of the middleware. You may go with any one of the middleware. There is no restriction with the middleware. Choose any one of the middleware. Either you go with the Node.js, or you can go with the PHP, or you can go with the Java, or you can go with the .NET, or you can go with the Python Django, or you can go with the Python class. But front end is common. Front end is common. Whatever the front end technical skills are there, those technical skills can be utilized for the Node.js. Those technical skills can be utilized for the PHP. Those technical skills can be utilized for the Java. Those technical skills can be utilized for the .NET. The same technical skills for the Python Django. The same technical skills for the Python Flask also. Middleware is middleware is option. Middleware is option, but front end is common. Front end is common, universal. Front end is universal, common. Front end is universal or common. But middleware is option. You can choose an option in the part of the middleware. Then come to the database. Database. Why database is basically using for database is storing data for the business. Storing data for a business. Any kind of business you are going to be building up. You are building an online shopping application, you are building a banking application, you are building a travel application, you are building a real estate application, you are building a stock market application, whatever it may be, storing data, storing information of the business is important. For that, databases are important. So you can have multiple databases. You go with MySQL, you go with Postgre, you go with Oracle, you go with you go with MongoDB, you go with SQL Server from Microsoft. Okay, or you can go with the Firebase from the Google. Any one of the database you can choose. Any one of the database you can choose. Basically, in companies, the client needed MongoDB, they will tell you. The client needed SQL Server, they will tell you. The client needed Firebase, they will tell you. Our client go with the server side. Client go with the server side Java, they will tell you. Client go with the server side .NET, they will tell you. Client go with the Python Django, they will tell you. Client go with the Python Flask, they will tell you. So here, the client is going to be choosing middleware and database, but the client also choosing the front end part also. Front end part, something is option here. What is the option in the part of the front end, Akhil? What is the option in the part of the front end? Front end also you can choose an option. What is the option in the part of the front end? You can ping me in the chat box. What is the option? In the part of the front end, what is the option? Okay, I will tell you multiple kind of full stacks here. I will tell you multiple kind of full stack applications here. Then we will discuss about the React.js. First of all, we will discuss about the multiple kind of full stacks. First of all, I will write JavaScript related full stacks, JS full stacks, JS full stacks. In JS full stacks, the major thing is JS. The major thing is JS. It means the major important thing is JavaScript. And here, HTML plus or HTML comma CSS comma JavaScript plus React.js plus Node.js plus MongoDB. Okay, so here you are fulfilling the requirement of the full stack, but this full stack is called MERN stack. This full stack is called MERN stack. What is the meaning of MERN here is MongoDB Express JS, comma React, comma Node.js. This is actually called MERN stack. I am talking about the JS full stacks first. In JS full stacks, this is very, very famous. What is the famous one? MERN stack. MERN stack is a very famous one. After the MERN stack, you will be having the one more full stack. Instead of the React.js, if you go for Angular, this MERN stack converted to main stack. Then this React is converted to Angular. Remaining things as usual. Remaining things MongoDB, Express, Node common. but only one thing got replaced, React as Angular. That is actually called main stack. This is actually called main stack. Here I'm telling about the MERN stack, and here I'm telling about the main stack. These two JavaScript full stacks. And one more JavaScript full stack is available, that is called MEVN stack. Instead of Angular, you can go with the Vue.js. And here, this is actually called MEVN stack. MEVN, MEVN. MongoDB Express. Instead of Angular, Vue.js. MongoDB Express, Vue.js, Node.js. That is actually called MEVN stack. Main stack is there, MERN stack is there, MEVN stack is there. Three stacks are there. Three M stacks. And these three M stacks are JavaScript related full stacks. And one more thing, Python related full stacks. Python full stacks. Python full stacks, you can go with the two kind of full stacks. In Python full stacks, there are two kind of full stacks. Okay, React or Angular or Vue. Any one of this. You can choose React or Angular or Vue as a front end. And the back end, you can go with Python Django. Python Django. Database, yes, database also you'll be having option MongoDB or MySQL. MongoDB or MySQL. Mostly people will go for MongoDB or MySQL. This is the one kind of Python full stack. Another kind of Python full stack is instead of Django, people will go with the Flask. The only thing is changing Python related Django framework or Python related Flask framework. This is another kind of full stack, Akhil. This is another kind of full stack, Akhil. And one more full stack is Java full stack. Java full stack. How Java full stack will be? I will write here. Everything is as usual, common, but only the thing is backend is changing. Here, Java. Here the thing is Java Spring. Nowadays, famous one is Java Spring Boot. Java Spring Boot. And databases mostly for Java Spring Boot databases mostly Oracle. People will use Oracle. This is Java related full stack. And one more full stack is .NET full stack. .NET full stack. How .NET full stack is? Everything is as usual. Front end is as usually common. But in the part of the backend, they will go for .NET ASP. And backend part, they are going with the SQL Server. SQL Server. This is the .NET full stack. And one more full stack is PHP full stack. One more full stack is PHP full stack. This is also famous. Instead of .NET, in the backend part, they will learn PHP. And the backend, they go for MySQL or MongoDB. MongoDB. Okay. End of the day, these number of full stacks are available in the market. End of the day, these number of full stacks available in the market. But you are going to be choosing a MERN stack, I think so. Your full stack is MERN stack. Am I right? Am I right, Akhil? You are looking for what? You are looking for what? React.js, right? If you are looking for React.js, better you can go with the React full stack. You are looking only React or React full stack? I don't know exactly your requirement. Please ping me in the chat box what your requirement is. You are looking only React.js or only React.js? Okay, fine. Okay, Akhil, did you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript already? If you want to learn only React.js, then better. Your course is exactly React.js. I know HTML, CSS in depth. Okay. You know JavaScript then? You know HTML and CSS. Okay, then we will start with the JavaScript. JavaScript, then React. Then we will go with the JavaScript first, then React.js. Directly, I can start with the JavaScript. Am I clear? If you already know HTML and CSS, why? Because of React.js, prerequisite is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. If you already know HTML and CSS very well, then we will start with the JavaScript and React.js. Can I start JavaScript class directly? Can I start JavaScript directly? Yes, yes, fine. Okay, fine. I got idea. End of the day. So for few days, we will discuss about JavaScript. Then we'll jump into the React.js. Why? Because directly, if I start React.js, you cannot understand. That is the reason. First, for few days, I'm going with the JavaScript. In JavaScript, we will learn ES6 also, ES6 features. ES6 features are important for the React.js. Okay, so let me start the JavaScript. So I'm just giving the brief idea about the full stacks here. But your requirement is only for the React.js, then I'll start the JavaScript. Okay, right. Okay, JavaScript is browser interpreted programming language. Browser interpreted programming language. And JavaScript is browser independent. Browser independent. And JS is general purpose. JS is general purpose. It means JS is basically utilizing for multiple kind of application development. One is web application development. One is a mobile application development. One is gaming applications. One is blockchain applications. And one is IoT applications. A kind of applications, multiple kind of applications JavaScript is basically using. Mostly JS is browser interpreted. And one more thing is JS is not compiled programming language. JS is not compiled programming language. JS have many libraries. JS have many libraries and frameworks. JS have many libraries and frameworks like jQuery, Bootstrap. We know that React, Angular, Vue, EXT, Sencha, EXT is there, and Knockout is there. Knockout, Node.js, Express. So like this, JavaScript have many libraries and frameworks. Okay. One is jQuery, one is Bootstrap, one is React, one is Angular, Vue, EXT, Knockout, Node, Express. And JS is popular programming language. JS is popular programming language. Okay, finally, where we can write JavaScript. Where we can write JavaScript. First of all, we need to try to understand what are the different kind of editors you can write JavaScript. You can write JavaScript in Notepad. You can write Notepad. You can write in Notepad++. You can write in Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code. You can write in Atom. You can write in brackets. And you can write in online editors. There are multiple online editors which are going to be supporting for JavaScript. And you can practice JavaScript in browser console also. Okay. Wherever you want, you can write JavaScript. All JavaScript files, one note point here, all JS files, all JS files are saved with .js format. All JS files are saved with .js format. Compulsory, every JavaScript file is saved with .js format. Getting my point, Akhil? Is this clear so far? I am just giving some introduction about the JavaScript. What JavaScript is? JavaScript is browser interpreted programming language. JS is browser independent. It's a general purpose to develop the web applications, mobile applications, and gaming applications, blockchain applications, IoT applications. JavaScript is not a compiled programming language. It's a interpreted programming language. It's a browser interpreted. So why this is interpreted, I will tell you later. And what is the difference between the compilation and interpretation, I will tell you later. And JS have many libraries like jQuery, Bootstrap, React, Angular, Vue, ext, Knockout, Node, Express kind of things. And JS is popular programming language in 2024. It almost top 1 and 2. Top 1 and 2. Sometime it is 1, sometime it is 2. Python and JavaScript basically 1 and 2. Top in demand. At the same time, React is also very, very popular programming nowadays, and which are going to be having a very huge in demand for application development. Okay, come to the point. Okay, how to integrate JS for HTML pages. This is the important question we try to understand. How to integrate JS for HTML pages. There are multiple ways. The one in the inline JS, the one is the inline JS, the one is the internal JS, the one is the external JS. These are the three different ways. Did you know what is the inline JS is? What is internal? What is external? Okay, so Akhil, you already know CSS, right? In CSS, how to integrate CSS for HTML, Akhil? How to integrate CSS for HTML? How many ways are there? You can please tell me here. How to integrate CSS for HTML? How to integrate CSS content, CSS syntax? Three ways. As same as in screen. Yes, inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS. In the same way, JavaScript also integrating in the three different ways. Inline JS, internal JS, external JS. We know that inline JS is something like element specific JS. Element specific JS. Element by element, we need to integrate JavaScript. That is actually called inline JS. Internal JS, as usually, page specific JS. Page specific JS. So page by page. For example, in my application, if I am having 100 pages, 100 times I need to write my script content. 100 times I need to write my JavaScript code. That is actually called internal JS. External JS is something like throughout application, one JS file we are going to be injecting. That is actually called external JS. Total application related JavaScript file, that is actually called external JS. External JS files are saved with .js format. External JS files are saved with .js format. Okay, so here internal JS, how to write internal JS? Internal JS will be inside the HTML page. That will be script tag open and a script tag close. Inside the script tag, I can write my JavaScript code. Whatever the JavaScript code you want, you can write the JavaScript code for your web page. That is actually called internal JavaScript. And external JavaScript, for example, you will be having a file.html. Okay, file1.html. This is my first file. File1.html, I should be integrate external JS. File2.html, I should integrate again my script file. How to integrate the script? For example, somewhere you will be having the file.js. You are going to be writing some JS content somewhere. All the JavaScript code you are writing in the file.js. That particular file.js, I need to integrate for the two different HTMLs. How to integrate it? It is integrating like script tag open, script src file.js. That's it. Script src file.js. The same script I need to integrate for the file2.js also. But your CSS integration is different. How you can integrate your external CSS into the HTML? Akhil? How you are integrating external CSS for HTML files? You can ping me in the chat box. How you can integrate external CSS? What tag you are using for that? Link tag, exactly. Link tag, link relevant style sheet, and you are trying to writing an attribute called href. Inside the href, we are trying to provide in the CSS file. In the same way, script we are trying to integrating with the JS. Using with the script src. src is the attribute here. src is the attribute here. Fine. So let's use a Visual Studio Code. Using with the Visual Studio Code, we are trying to writing our JavaScript content. So first try to learn some JavaScript, then immediately I'll start with the React. Okay, so can I save these notes? Let me create a new folder for your class. I'm creating a new folder for your class, like React. Just give me 1 second. Okay, for React class. I'm trying to opening this React class into Visual Studio Code. Open the folder. Open the folder React class into the Visual Studio Code. Open folder React class. Maybe desktop is not accessing here. Let's do one thing. Inside the D folder, I will create a folder. React class. Inside the React class folder, I'm creating a new folder for today class. 11 by 11. Inside that, I'm trying to select the folder first. Inside the 11 folder, I'm trying to preparing the notes here. Okay, so let me paste the notes here. Yeah, this is the notes actually we are writing today. Let's try to work out with the inline internal external JS files first. Inline internal external JS content first. Okay, so let me create a new file. This is inline js.html. Every file should be saved with .html. Okay, so I'm trying to taking a button here. I'm trying to taking a button, and this button title is something like click me. This button is title. This button title is something like click me. Okay, for this button, there is an attribute called on click. There is an attribute called on click. For on click, I'm writing an alert box. This alert is JavaScript now. This alert is JavaScript now. Okay, I'm trying to providing alert box over there. Okay, alert box. You clicked on me. You clicked on me. This is the inline JavaScript. Alert function. Alert function is actually coming from the JavaScript. Alert function is coming from the JavaScript, but this alert function is going to be triggering. This alert function is going to be triggering when you click on the button. When you click on the button. So let me execute the browser. So in my browser, I have a button. When I click on the button, some JS got executed. Some JS got executed. So you clicked on me. This is actually called inline JavaScript. Let's try to explore the internal JavaScript, external JavaScript, and we try to work out with the predefined JS functions tomorrow session. And we try to understand variables concept and operators, data types, then loops, conditions, functions, all these things. First, for few days, 4 or 5 days, we'll go with the JavaScript, basic JavaScript. Then I go with the advanced JavaScript like ES6. Then maybe in the next week middle, we are going to be entering into the React.js. Then better you can able to understand React.js properly. So that's the agenda. So have any questions and queries, Akhil? I'm trying to closing the session in a minute. Daily same time your session will be. If you have any questions and queries, you can ping me in the chat box.